The Bible is a complex and multifaceted text that has been studied and interpreted by scholars and theologians for centuries. Despite its widespread influence and popularity, the true lessons of the Bible are often lost in mainstream media representations. This is due to a combination of factors, including sensationalism, commercialization, and a lack of nuance and depth in reporting. Mainstream media outlets often focus on the most sensational and attention-grabbing aspects of the Bible, such as stories of violence, sex, and miracles. These stories are frequently taken out of context and used to support a particular agenda or ideology, rather than being presented as part of a larger narrative. For example, the story of David and Goliath is often reduced to a simplistic tale of good vs evil, rather than being explored as a rich and complex exploration of faith, power, and identity. Furthermore, mainstream media often prioritizes entertainment value over accuracy and theological depth. Biblical stories are frequently adapted into films, TV shows, and other forms of media that prioritize spectacle and drama over fidelity to the original text. These adaptations often distort or omit key aspects of the biblical narrative, presenting a sanitized or sensationalized version of the story that bears little resemblance to the actual text. Another problem with mainstream media representations of the Bible is that they often reflect a superficial or literalistic understanding of the text. Many media outlets approach the Bible as a collection of simplistic moral lessons or historical facts, rather than as a complex and multifaceted work of literature that requires careful interpretation and contextualization. This approach neglects the rich symbolism, metaphor, and allegory that are woven throughout the biblical narrative, reducing the text to a series of simplistic platitudes or rules. In addition, mainstream media outlets often rely on experts or pundits who have little or no training in biblical scholarship or theology. These individuals may have a superficial knowledge of the Bible, but they lack the depth and nuance of understanding that comes from years of study and reflection. As a result, their interpretations and analyses of the Bible are often shallow, misleading, or simply incorrect. Finally, mainstream media representations of the Bible are often shaped by ideological or cultural biases that distort or omit key aspects of the text. For example, some media outlets may present the Bible as a justification for conservative or liberal political agendas, while others may use it to promote a particular social or cultural ideology. These biases can lead to a highly selective and distorted reading of the Bible, one that prioritizes certain themes or passages over others and ignores the complexities and nuances of the text. In contrast to these superficial and distorted representations, a deep and nuanced understanding of the Bible requires a willingness to engage with the text in all its complexity and richness. This involves immersing oneself in the language, culture, and historical context of the biblical world, as well as exploring the many different interpretations and traditions that have shaped the text over time. It also requires a willingness to grapple with the ambiguities and uncertainties of the Bible, rather than reducing it to simplistic moral lessons or dogmatic certainties. Ultimately, the true lessons of the Bible can only be learned through a deep and sustained engagement with the text itself, rather than through the superficial and distorted representations that are often presented in mainstream media. By immersing ourselves in the Bible and approaching it with humility, curiosity, and an open mind, we can gain a profound and life-changing understanding of its teachings and wisdom. However, this requires a willingness to look beyond the shallow and sensationalized representations that dominate mainstream media and to engage with the text in all its complexity and richness.